and I run it, and I run it, and I run it, and I run it, yes, I run it.
Jazzy TV, I'm here with my man Sky Lexington. What's up with you, bro?
What's good with you, man?
Shit, how's your year been so far?
Oh, it's been lovely, man. I just say it's blessed to say the least, you know.
So why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself, what you do, stuff like that.
Sky Lex from Muskegon, Michigan. Muskegon Heights, Michigan to be exact. Rapper, producer, artist. I paint, create, do clothes, do everything. You know? Just a creative altogether, to be honest.
So when did you first start getting into making music and producing and stuff?
I started as a kid, just always having, you know, the influence or whatever in me, because I just love music from day one. But I started taking it real serious probably like, you know, I say like in my middle school years. So I started listening to like, I always was listening to like Jay-Z and Rockefeller and stuff. And I don't know, I just indulged into it because it just looked like something I wanted to, like, I just wanted to be a part of it, you know? I wanted the clothes, I wanted the glamour, all that stuff. And it just looked cool to be, you know, I don't know, like that nigga. So that's what started me, you know? And where I was from, you know, it wasn't even cool to be a rapper at the time, so it was just something that I wanted to do because I seen people in Hollywood and New York, seeing them doing it. I was like, that's something I got to be a part of. Because I knew when I was a kid I wasn't going to live where I was from. So yeah. I just knew I had to be a part of something bigger than where I was at. And yeah, that's really how I got into it. But it started moving. Like I became an artist. I was doing like real backpack music, like real hip hop in the film type shit. And then it changed up, probably like 2010. I started making this different type of shit, like my own sound or whatever. Cause I was just tired of like copying shit, trying to fit in or make music that everybody wanted to hear. So yeah, I got on the fucking computer and I just said I gotta make the craziest sounding shit that I ever could think of or whatever. So after that, I got on the internet, started meeting people, MySpace, Twitter a little bit later, but really MySpace. And I would go to Cali, look up artists from California, from LA. And I found a few people that was like, I think they was like promoting themselves out there so hard that's how I found them. But it was before they was on, like, I remember I met Tiger online. It was weird. I mean, I messaged him, he charged me $500 for a verse. And at the time, I was like, $500. Like, I ain't about to pay you. Who is you, you know? Yeah. Like, you just somebody on MySpace. Why would I pay you $500? He's like, bro, I'm finna get signed to Lil Wayne, you know? So I was just like, oh, okay. And then next thing you know, he signed to Lil Wayne. I'm like, what the fuck? I hit him up, like, hey, I'm gonna get that verse. And then he was like, nah. Like, you gotta go through my management now.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. But then that showed me, like, damn, like, these is real people online that you know what I'm saying, that is really gonna, you know, there's potential they could blow up. So, I just kept meeting different people, you know, And then I remember I met Sid from Odd Future. She was on MySpace, and I messaged her, and then she was like showing me a lot of shit. She said she had music back then too. She never put it out, and it was before she was thinking about being an artist and all that. So I would communicate with her, and then I ended up finding like Odd Future, and started getting into Tyler. You know, in like 2009, 2010. Like I'm talking to these dudes, you know, like online, some of the like skaters in Odd Future and all of that. So ended up forming, you know, these like relationships over the internet. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna fly out to Cali, you know, like meet the people real life, see how far I can get with my music. And then I also met Eddie Baker online around the same time, and he was like on the same come up as me. So I was like, you know, there's somebody that's trying to make a name for themselves that's on the same wave as me. Let me get with him when I get to Cali. So came to Cali. Matter of fact, I remember Tyler dropped his album, his first debut or whatever, and he could go in Best Buy and buy it at the time. And that shit was something special to me because I was like, dang, I talked to this dude online and I'm able to go buy his CD, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shit is different. This shit real. This really you can really make it in music. That's all I was thinking the whole time. And bought the CD, went in my car, sat in the car, put the CD in, and I was working at a factory at the time. And I played the CD and I just said, fuck this, I ain't going to work today. And I ain't go to work no more. So I got in the car, put the CD in, and that day I didn't go to work. Just never went back to work that day, and I ended up getting fired. And I did it on purpose so I can file for unemployment at the time. I filed for unemployment. Shit. Got a plane ticket to Cali. And that day on, shit, I went to Cali. I met with some of the kids kicking it with our feature, but main thing, I met Eddie Baker. You know,
Yeah.
and then when me and Eddie met, that first day we kicked it all day. And shit, he was like, I'm finna go back to Ontario. I was like, Ontario? What the fuck is Ontario? Because we in LA when we met.
Yeah.
He like, nigga, that's where I'm from. I'm like, I ain't from LA. So this for me learning the areas, you know, because I'm thinking about LA, you know. Like, no, I don't know. I'm saying IE. Like, IE. LA, right? Oh, okay. So took the bus back to Ontario. So now I'm like, damn, like, I'm like getting exposed to the West Coast now, or the SoCal area. So went to Eddie Baker crib, smoked, I made beats, and boom, we did a song right then and there. And ever since that day, I stayed there. Went back to LA, got my shit, cause I was staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
And I went and got my shit, took it back to Eddie Mama's house, and stayed with him. Shit, thugged it out, went everywhere, bro. Talking about every show, every studio session, everything. We showing up, we doing what we do. Networking. And then Eddie was already a part of Raider Clan at the time. And I used to always wonder what the fuck was Raider Clan, you know? He was like, you know, this a collective that nobody know about, this the homies, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit, nigga, I'm with you, shit. Raider Clan too, you know? Shit. So you like, you know, Perk gotta put you on for you to be Raider Clan. So made some phone calls, and then Perk met me, and shit, Perk like, you Raider Clan, you know? So now we out, me and Eddie, out repping Raider Clan, you know? And that's really how everything started out in LA for me.
So do you remember the first song you ever made?
I do remember the first song I ever made. Old as shit, but it was over an instrumental. I think it was over fucking Yin Yang Twins beat. It was some crazy shit, like, it was crazy. I was young as fuck though, bro. I was like 5th grade with some stupid shit. Like, stupid young. But it was the first song I actually structured and put together. It was on the karaoke machine. That's how old it was.
Yeah.
You know? So imagine that. I'm that old.
What were people's like first reaction when you started telling people you want to do music and stuff?
Like nobody took it serious, but my mom, she always took what I wanted to do serious. She always wanted. So my mom always wanted to make sure I was happy or just comfortable.
Yeah.
She didn't really want me to be complaining or had nothing to do, so she'd buy me a video game, some entertainment, drum sets, all that shit growing up as a kid. But she bought me a karaoke machine one year for me to make music. And she didn't care about the music or nothing. She heard it, like, oh, whatever. But she bought me the shit to make the music, So that was at least supporting me on that.
Yeah.
And then when I got a little older, she bought a computer. And then I just started using the computer to make music. I just basically took over her shit, to make music. And then she didn't even want the computer no more. So I put the computer in my room, And she always supported me making music and everything. But she never came to my shows and nothing like that. But she always supported it, So that's my mom and my auntie, my dad's sister. She always bought me music programs and shit like that to make sure that I was doing the music. So she was always the number one supporter. But other than that, nobody took me serious, So that's what made me do it even more. Because I was always this is something that people you gonna get this. You feel me? It's gonna stick with you that I'm an artist. And then every year I would put out a project and take it to school. People would be like, oh, you rap.
So were you passing out CDs and stuff, or mixtapes?
Yeah, I used to call it. I used to, get the bulk orders.
Yeah.
I had 100 mixtapes. Pass them out. Sometimes people buy them, and I just go out for free most of the time. But that's what everybody knew me for, because the day before I even started getting them bulk, I used to just go to fucking Sam's Club and get the fucking blanks and get some paper and get sticky, the label makers, and make my own CDs. And then I really started with my best friend's brother. He stayed across the street. And he was a fucking hip hop genius. He just knew everything about hip hop. He was older. He was 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
So he was just the coolest nigga in the world to me, because he knew every rapper, put me on shit. But me and him ended up starting a group together, a rap group. And then we both started producing. And that's really when I was doing all the boom bap shit. And then eventually, I guess we didn't he liked my family, so I never stopped fucking with him. But we just, I don't know, life just made our music just go two different ways, So that's what I started out with. So he put the soul in me, if you ever hear my music and you hear the samples and all that, they come from him. And our names was Two Minds. So put us two together, and that's we got the soul. So when I departed, or not even departed, when I just stopped making music with him, it was the soulness of it was still in me. But then I put trap with it, so then you get another sound. It just developed into some other shit. But I always go back to make new music. All my music is shit that's happening. Even with Raider Clan, that's all 90s. That's why I loved about Raider Clan, because that was my main goal, was to make the 90s come back.
Yeah.
And that's that's what it ended up doing in a sense.
So what was your experience growing up in Michigan?
And at first, growing up in Michigan was pleasant. It was nice. My childhood was cool. You go outside, ride your bike, go. You might get into some fights and all that shit. But it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. We got the water, Lake Michigan right next to where I live. So you're always going to the beach, always in the sun doing stuff, But hardest thing was just snow in the wintertime. It snowed crazy. Talking about feet, just so snow so high, bro, you barely can get out the crib. Can't even go for your dough. It be that bad sometimes.
That's crazy.
It's the hardest part of the winter, but it really wasn't that bad growing up, bro. Even when shit was bad, you didn't know it. I guess because you were a kid, I guess because you were a kid, you don't think about a lot of shit either.
Yeah.
You got a lot of troubles. But I just remember people was outside, like, way more. You could go walk around, talk to people, and conversate. It wasn't, motherfuckers wouldn't get killed. But then eventually, guns came into play. Because people got tired of fighting.
Yeah.
Because drugs came into play. People high. They don't want to fucking fight because they high. So they go get a gun. And they ended up, one person gets shot. Next person gets shot. Now this shit is just fucking war out here. Michigan is just, bro, it's bad as fuck. I live in one of the most dangerous cities in America because it's so small that the murder rate is equivalent to big cities, but it's small.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of the worst places in Michigan, hands down. And then, you got Detroit, Flint, Grand Rapids. Them places is fucking crazy, bro. Like, I mean, it's parts where it's nice. I guess you just get used to it, so you don't know how bad it is. But then when you step outside the box and you look at it, and you be like when I'm here in Cali, bro, I always hear back home about shit. And I'm like, damn, shit crazy. Like, I mean, you're in the midst of it, you don't even realize it though. But you gonna get involved with the streets somehow. If you don't get involved with the streets, you're gonna work in a factory.
Yeah.
And if you don't work in a factory, you gotta go to school. It's only 3 things you can do: go to school, get in the factory, or go and get in the streets. It's really fucked up. Like, there's no entertainment, none of that shit. None of that, nothing like out here. You can go to school and do something different. But 9 times out of 10, if you go to school, you're gonna move out the state. So a lot of people don't stay. The only people that stay in Michigan is older people. A lot of younger people, they getting out of the country, they leaving the state, whatever they can do to get out of that area because it's so poverty struck. And then with crime, like, the crime is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, every time I call home or something.
What's some differences between Detroit music and LA music that you've noticed personally?
It's just one kick that's missing. Like, literally, it's the same tempo, it seems like, but it's just LA. I have one kick and a longer space between the next kick, whereas in Detroit, it might be a few more kicks before that next bar. But the tempo of the music is the same. The shit they rapping about is the same. Because I think Detroit, either Detroit and LA or Detroit and Oakland, one of them, they like sister cities.
Yeah.
The slang, I ain't gonna say the slang, but the accents are damn near similar. Like a lot of the shit they do, I think it's Oakland because of the player shit, Like a lot of pimps come from Oakland, and a lot of players come from Detroit, you know what I'm saying? So, I think that's where that mess is at. But Detroit, I think it is Oakland because in Detroit, it's like a black Mecca, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of black culture there. And then in Oakland, it's the same type of blacks going on there. But you had Malcolm X came from, Detroit. So, I think they very similar with both cities, to be honest. And just the bass, and I think it's a move bass. A lot of different bases, but the bases are the same. And I think that's what the similarities of it is, the bases.
So do you like today's Detroit style music?
The thing about today's Detroit style, bro, it's always been this. This music always been out.
Yeah.
But the world just catch it on. So it's kind of like, man, bro, Detroit music been like this for so long. Been like the artists that's popping and all, they've been out for so long. In Michigan, been listening to these niggas, and now the world just catching on. So the sound kind of been I've been hearing this.
So when you were coming up over there, it was the same style.
Same sound. When I was out here at first in LA, because that was the thing about me. I'm from Michigan, but I wasn't doing Michigan music.
Yeah.
I was in another scene. So when I go home and I'm hearing everybody do Michigan music, it's like it ain't in my scene. But eventually, I started making Michigan type beats because I let the crib and all the artists I'm with, they need them type of beats. And then I, get into that sound. But other than that, I was more underground, like trap sound and dark underground shit.
So what kind of influences like your sound now, like your style?
My sound now is really a mesh of everything that I've been doing, everything, like, but it's more seasoned.
Yeah.
Like I got more control of my sound now, because I know exactly how I want it to sound. So like I might mix Detroit drums with some shit that be some 90s shit, like some 3 6 Mafia sounds, like I don't know what. I'm always trying to make something new. Always trying to make something that I ain't heard before, because I just want this shit to stand out. Even if people might not feel it, everybody might feel it at the time, but then people, that sound might come out 3 years from now, and people be like, oh shit, I remember you was making beats like that back then. Yeah, when we weren't feeling it then, but now you feel it. So, yeah, my sound is just a mesh of everything right now.
Are there any artists who like influence you anyways?
A lot of artists influence me. I ain't gonna lie, my friends influence me the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're great. I had a blessing of being around a lot of great artists. So they influence me at a high level. But other than that, like, of course, the legends and shit. Jay-Z is a high influence to me because of Jay-Z mindset and his business. But then, you got like trap rappers like Gucci. He like a fucking god to me. I ain't gonna lie, Gucci, man. And Lil Wayne probably one of the most influential artists ever in the world. Like, ever. Nigga like the Michael Jackson of hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, he's one of the most influential artists too. Other than like, my people's in my circle around.
Would you say it's harder like to come up over here or like in Detroit, like in music?
It's harder to come up in Detroit. Here, I ain't gonna lie, it seems like it's easier to come up in LA because this is a music place.
Yeah.
You're dealing with everybody working. In Detroit, it's hard to come up with music because if you ain't from Detroit, you really ain't gonna be heard unless you're making noise in your city. And then everybody rapping. It's a new rapper every day, so you got to be on it. In Detroit, like Michigan, period, you gotta be on it. Because it started out with Detroit, yeah, but now it's the whole Michigan. It's like it's artists coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's harder to make it there because it's more competition. Because everybody doing the same music, everybody doing the same thing, trying to, stunt, have money, have women. So but in LA it's the same thing too, but you just got more business opportunities out here.
Yeah. So did you start networking like through Eddie Baker, or how'd you kind of meet a lot of people?
So at the beginning, when I first got out here, I would just go out by myself, And then when I met Eddie, me and Eddie had kind of like the same networking strategies.
Yeah.
So we said, fuck it, we're gonna go to the parties together. And then 2 heads better than one, So we had came up with this little strategy. I remember we used to do this every party, bro. We'd go buy like an eighth of weed, and we'd break it down to 5 blunts. And back in the day, we was rolling Swisher Sweets.
Yeah.
We break down 5 blunts, and we call them business blunts. We only spark them when we having a conversation with somebody that's worth knowing, Spark a blunt, smoke a blunt with them, we're talk. Because back then, follow me on Twitter,
Yeah.
Everybody was on Twitter. So to get them follows, spark a blunt. Everybody cool over weed,
Yeah.
And we would just meet everybody, bro. And then once we was in Raider Clan, and then ASAP Rocky came out, then we really had a little leverage because now people actually want to be this, you know.
Yeah.
So that's when me and him started. But we both had a networking gift. Because I would go out and get my plugs, and he would go out and get his plugs, and then we'd bring them all together. You know what I'm saying? So when we bring them all together, that's when something that I might have might not have worked for me, that worked for him. You know?
Yeah.
Something that might not have worked for him might have worked for me. You know, as a producer. So, yeah.
What kind of goes into like your music and your like producing? Like, what do you think about? How do you get inspiration?
A lot of things. Scenery. Different music. When I hear different shit that I ain't never heard before, I get inspired. Like I remember when I got put up on City Pop.
Yeah.
Some Japanese soul music from like it sound like Motown, but it's all Japanese. So when I heard that shit, it's like damn, inspired me in a whole nother way, other than listening to soul music, you know. Crawl. Scenery, exposure to new sounds, food. For some reason, food inspires me to make different music. And just everyday life, things that I experience every day. It can be a simple situation that you want to make some music, you know. Especially a beat. I could be watching a TV show and something come on the TV, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta make a beat out of that.
Yeah.
So I can get inspired anywhere. I'll wake up out of the bed, just get inspired from a dream or get inspired from just a thought. Like, oh man, I gotta make something like this.
What was your favorite food growing up?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Hot wings.
Yeah.
Eat like 50 hot wings, bro. I remember I ordered 50 hot wings from Domino's one time. I ate all them bitches. I was sick as hell afterwards, but I ate them bitches.
You like the like extra spicy or just like regular medium?
Just mild. I don't really like too hot.
Yeah.
Cause I don't really want my tongue and shit to be done and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just get some mild wings with the ranch. Go crazy. I mean, I was high as hell when I did that. Fucking 50 wings, bro. I was so disgusted with myself afterwards. High as hell, just high. Ordered 50 wings.
Do you have a favorite song that you made?
No, I ain't got no favorite song. Every song inspired me in a different way.
Yeah.
Or every song reminded me of something when I recorded it. So, I don't got no favorite song.
Do you like doing more collabs or like solo tracks?
I like doing solo more than collabs, but I like to collab.
Yeah.
I'm always open to working with different artists, but sometimes other artists don't see
Same vision?
the same vision.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but I'm always open to collabing. Like, I never turn nobody down that want to work with me or nothing like that unless, you know, just our sounds just ain't gonna mesh. And usually I'm cool with adapting.
Yeah.
Like, I can adapt to any producer to make it work. So I'm always, you know, open. I ain't never I ain't not a closed-minded producer or nothing that's like, oh, that shit don't sound right.
Yeah.
No, I'm always open to what it could be, you know.
What was your most like memorable event you've attended?
Rolling Loud this year.
Yeah.
That shit was the craziest shit I ever experienced in my life. It looked like 100,000 people out there, bro. I swear. Just so many people. Fucking flames and fucking just, it felt like a dream or a movie. It did not feel like that was real. That moment just was like happening.
Yeah.
But the one thing about it was so fucking cold on the stage.
Did you perform anything?
I I was just there for Balls, Wolf, and Eddie Baker performers. But you know, it inspired me to get there, and that ain't hard.
When was the last like concert you did or like show?
I did a show in Calabasas in November. So it was a nice little show. It was a nice little turnout.
Yeah, what was like the crowd's reaction when you came out?
And it was like, wow, you back. Like it was like they was excited. A lot of people was there that been following me for a long time.
So you have like a lot of core fans?
The crazy thing about it, that's why I'm back, because when I was at home, I'm looking like, man, I got like at least 2,000 people that's waiting on me.
Yeah.
You know, like to come back and actually will come out and support and buy my shit and do shit. Like I can't get that up. Even if it ain't, you know, if it's 200 people, I don't give a fuck. It could be 50 people. I'm gonna come back because they can grow.
Yeah.
It's all it takes is somebody to talk about you and make a person feel cool because they don't know about this person. So I just came back because